Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for the likes, the comments, and for subscribing. I'll be bringing you an update on Twist of Fate new season. Ranbir gets furious on Ria and his family for Prachi. You need to watch to the end and see how Ranbir could not take it anymore. What he said was even shocking to the mother. Pallavi says, Ranbir says, you don't care for me, you only care for Ria. He says, you don't have your own perspective and believes whatever Ria is doing is right. Wow. Like, seriously, Pallavi is in shock. In case if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to click on the notification button to be notified anytime I drop a new video. Let's go. Ranbir is already in the police station to bail Prachi. The episode starts with the lady telling Ranbir that she heard them talking that the girl is pregnant. And meanwhile, it's not only Prachi that was there. Prachi and Shahana was standing there. If you can remember my last update, when Shahana asked them to put her in same prison with Prachi as she can't stay without her, she wants to stay with Prachi. And she was locked up with Prachi as well. Ranbir gets happy and congratulates Shahana and Prachi with a hug. Prachi reciprocates the hug and holds him. She then leaves his hand. He says, you have shared the good news, and tells that now you are Ma. He says we shall celebrate for this good news. Ranbir thinks Shahana is pregnant. Constable comes and says you are bailed out. Inspector asks them to sign on the bail papers. Ranbir asks lawyer if he knows that Shahana was here. Lawyer says he was aware. That's why he added Shahana's name in the bail papers. He asks Ranbir to take his car as he might come from airport. Ranbir thanks him and asks Prachi and Shahana to come. Ranbir asks Shahana to sit on the back seat as the car will not shake much and the baby will be safe. Prachi comes and sits with Shahana. Ranbir says, you became a good sister, I'll become a good driver. He drives the car and tells Shahana that she is not glowing in pregnancy like Prachi. He teases Prachi indirectly for showing the attitude. One day your eye will open, really. Shahana asks him to drive carefully and don't look in the mirror and talk. She says, take left. He says, I will be taking you to our house, and says until Sarita returns. Prachi will take care of you. He says tomorrow is Lori. We will celebrate. Shahana says, I don't have clothes with me. Ranbir says the driver will bring your clothes or you can just ask Prachi. He says, else I'll bring clothes for you. He asks Shahana to smile as she's pregnant. He then recalls the lady's words and gets worried for Shahana. Ranbir comes home and asks if you are happy to see me at home and says your happiness will turn sorrowful by tomorrow and I will not be Ranbir for you. Ria asks, what are you saying? Prachi and Shahana gets inside. Ria gets shocked and says, Prachi. Ranbir asks, where is the happiness which you had seeing me? It was fake. He asked if he didn't mean anything to anyone in this house. He asks Ria why did she marry him. Aliyah says, why are you asking strange things from her? Ranbir says, you are calling my questions strange and asks if other things are normal. Pallavi asks what happened. Ranbir says, I am angry. Everyone has become members of this fight club. He says, you want to fight and need my support, but I don't want to support anyone. Prachi says, you haven't supported me. Ranbir says, you have stopped talking to me. Ria asks if you have bailed her out and says, I am angry about this. Ranbir asks, where was that happiness which was on your face? He tells Dida that the house work on both sisters' mood swings. He tells that the weather will change with their mood. Vikram says is enough. Ranbir asks why Prachi and Rhea want to take revenge from each other. Why? He says, I don't want to stay here, and says I don't get 2 moments of peace here. He says Rhea wants her married life and Prachi wants her rights, and asks, did anyone ask what I want? Pallavi says Ranbir. Ranbir says you don't care for me and just care about Rhea. He says you don't have your own perspective and believes whatever Rhea is doing is right. Wow. And whoever likes Prachi thinks she's right. He asks, did I fight with anyone due to my frustration? He says, I always think about this house alone, and says Mahabharat ended in 18 days, but this house fight is not ending. He says Prachi wanted to ruin Rhea's marriage functions, which I totally understand. He says Rhea spiked her drinks and took her signatures. He says Prachi faked and raided the house to get the papers, and says Rhea filed case against her. He asks Rhea, why did she file a case against Prachi? He asks, why did you call the police? He says house fights shall be resolved in the house, and asks everyone why didn't they stop Rhea. He says if daughter-in-law is found in lockup, then house respect is ruined, and tells Rhea that she has ruined his house respect and nobody is telling her that she is wrong. He says you have ruined this house respect, not only Prachi, but all the house is ruined, and asks why did these understanding family members haven't done anything. He says you should have called me and informed me about Prachi's arrest. He says why nobody helped Prachi even once. Prachi says I don't need anybody's help. Ranbir says I am not talking to you, and asks her to be quiet. He folds his hand and asks everyone to let the house be the house. Vikram asks, where are you going? Ranbir says to get some fresh air as there is hatred in the house. He asks Dida to make arrangements for Shahana's stay, else both sisters will get a chance to fight again. Rhea asks Pallavi and Vikram what Ranbir was trying to say. Pallavi asks her to understand what he wanted to say. Vikram says Ranbir was right. We have done wrong with Prachi by getting her arrested and then not bailing her out. He says shame on us, Pallavi. Rhea asks if you will say the same. Pallavi says respect is ruined if you and Prachi are involved. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.